Third video for the day. Decided I'm not going to be streaming, but I have the notification available, so I might as well use it. And there is something that I just want to talk about. So this final video for the day is going to be a bit rambly, but I hope you enjoy it. This is kind of an open-ended question that I just want to present to you guys. And that is, why do you think so many voice actors act the way they do? Now, I'm not talking about the ones that just sit behind the scenes and do their work and don't really use social media that often. I'm talking about the ones that go in the public space, tweet all the time, engage people, and say highly volatile things. And to be fair, sometimes they get trolled. But the point is, why do you take the bait? Why do so many voice actors, at least again, on social media in the public sector, you could say limited purpose public figures, if you want to go that route, why do they do the things they do? And let me have a sip of coffee here, because this is going to be just kind of, like I said, a rambly video, open-ended kind of thing. I will show you some examples here in a moment. But let's just have a discussion here about this, because it's something I'm trying to wrap my head around. And it's difficult for me to state my opinion without sounding somewhat rude. I'm not trying to directly insult anybody, but really when I analyze it and what it comes down to in my mind is they just seem to have inflated egos. Inflated with hot air. It's like a big ego, but the littlest little jab to it, the whole thing will pop. The whole thing will pop. It's inflated, but they're also very insecure, because I don't understand why so many of them engage the way they do, like I said. I have an example before we go into tweets, which is another example there. But I don't want to look at tweets for this specific example for reasons I don't really want to disclose right here. There's a specific voice actor who the other week was engaging with someone who was criticizing their work. And I think if you are doing any sort of work in the public sector, including myself, I'm here sharing my opinion, and there's going to be people who don't like that, and I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. I don't expect everybody to like my work. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Well, this voice actor the other week was getting some criticism, and instead of just taking it, and to be fair, the criticism was pretty, it wasn't even that rude, but it wasn't really constructive. But regardless, again, if you're going to be in the public space and you're doing that sort of work, people are going to have opinions on it. You should just make of it what you will, maybe not reply. Instead of doing that being not replying, this voice actor went out of their way to engage this person, started insulting them, and actually made some calls to action for people to get their docs. I was so inappropriate. I was shocked with what I saw. I reached out to this voice actor and I gave them some advice, very humbly. It was in public on Twitter. And they seem to have taken my advice. And that's why I'm not making a video on that. And I'm not showing their tweets. I'm not mentioning them at all. I'm trying to be as vague and anonymous as possible. But for the sake of this discussion, it's still a very relevant and very recent example that I do need to bring to the table here, because I don't understand what's going on with this Funimation community. And it really comes to a lot of people from Funimation. I don't really see other companies doing the sort of thing. They're actors, so to speak. They're contracted employees, whatever you want to go with. I don't really see them doing this sort of thing. It seems to routinely come out of Funimation. And it's so weird to me, man. And again, this is an open-ended question to all of you. Why do you think this is? Why do they act this way? Do you agree that they have an inflated ego? Like I said, does that analogy kind of make sense? And if so, why do you think it is? Do you think it's, I guess maybe they go to conventions for so long, they start to feel like they are on top of the world, so to speak? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just a guess. Some of these VAs, they go to conventions, they have the fans praising them. Although, again, that's not really the case for a number of them anymore. That praise has certainly dwindled, and their fans have certainly dwindled as well. But that's not necessarily the point here. The point is I'm just trying to understand what's going on. So maybe they go to the conventions, the fans are so thankful to see them, they're very happy, and they start to just get this ego. But that doesn't have to be the case. As we see, Vic Mignogna seems very humble. Don't get me wrong, he's a very confident man. He enjoys his work. He's good at his work, and he knows it. But he's very humble. He doesn't front this ego. He doesn't seem to have this inflated ego. He's not full of hot air like a lot of these people are. He's very humble and down to earth, and he treats everybody with respect. He tries to really understand each person, in my opinion. This is what I take from having met him multiple times and having watched plenty of his panels, plenty of his interactions. I've done a lot of research on him in the last 9 months. It sounds a little bit creepy, but, it doesn't, maybe not to you guys because you know the situation, but if someone's new to this channel, that's what I mean. It might sound a little bit creepy. So let me explain. It's revolving the whole Vic Mignogna litigation. Been following it the last 9 months, covering it. Anytime there's an update of notable update, I try to give that out and talk about it and that sort of thing. That's what I mean with that. And to cover that properly and to really make my opinion on Vic, and if he's in the right here, I've done a lot of due diligence into him, and I do stand with Vic. Not just because I feel like it's the right thing to do, but because I've looked into him extensively, and I truly do feel like it's the right thing to do. But let's take a look at some more specific examples now. Hopping over to Twitter, here's another example, and some tweets to go along with this one from Marky. So, for example, she makes this tweet. It says, "See you all day, Minneapolis, GalaxyCon, blah, blah, blah." She's here at 9:30 or whatever. And, one thing that's kind of neat is since they ruled Vic to be a limited purpose public figure, you make the argument for a number of these VAs, especially when they have the blue check mark and they're involved in the litigation that's somewhat high profile. So we can do this sort of thing without really worrying about them doing anything weird in response. Not to say that they would, but you never know for sure. So they're talking about the panel and that sort of thing. They get a little bit of sarcasm here from this person that says, "Wow, the line looks crowded." And they're being sarcastic because a picture was going around the other day where her line was empty. To be fair, I don't know if she was there or not. It might have just been a time where she wasn't there, in which case her line would be pretty empty. So it is still kind of funny to see, but it is what it is. You always got to take everything with the facts involved, even if they're on the other side. Look at the facts, right? The fact is, I don't know if she was really there announced signing, so she wouldn't really have a line, but whatever. Point is this. Other person says, "Nobody is obsessed with you." I'm sorry. Marky says, this GIF, "Why are you so obsessed with me?" The response, "Nobody is obsessed with you. People just want your lion ass gone." Marky says, "And yet here I am, bitch." Wow. "With you secretly standing. Wash your hand and have a seat." Wash your hand. Like implying that he did you-know-what over her. Secretly standing. If you don't know that lingo, it means you're like a fan. So you're secretly a fan and making an implication that this person had done something to themselves out of, being a stand for Marky, which is pretty crazy. And of course, using the B word there. So let's take a look at some more comments. "I'd say don't be so harsh, but hot dang, go get him." Oof of assault won't go after people who are calling them out, just saying. And the oof in that case, I think that's probably victims. Tone police much? He can't handle it, just leave him be. Let him hold the mute and forever keep his peace. So they go on for a little bit, have this exchange. And then it comes to this, man. She posts this GIF of Vic. I just don't understand why she's engaging to begin with. And again, for the third time now, I'm going to repeat this. This video is kind of an open discussion and an open question to you guys. Why are VAs doing this? And it's not just Marky. To be fair, it's not just Marky. I had the other example earlier. I just don't want to show that VA. And she posts this GIF of Vic and says, "Not pulling," in response to this. Yeah, touching, not pulling, or whisper creepy stuff in her ear. It's BS to milk the Me Too movement because it was at a convention, so why didn't other people report that he pulled her? And then Marky says, quote, "not pulling," being sarcastic. She's trying to be sarcastic here and post this out of context clip of Vic. But if you actually watched the deposition, you would understand that Vic was actually saying he didn't pull the hair. And then Marky's, of course, taking this out of context. And it's just, man, like, why, again, engage even? So they have a little bit more of an exchange here, and she says, he DM'd me. I called him out as Spirit Jr. told him we would, Spirit Jr. told him we could tell it was him because of his shitty attitude and grammar, and he told me I was calling him the R word, following that BS by using autism as an excuse for his rudeness, saying he'd tell his friends on me if he had any. So, yeah, it's a bit difficult for me to read this because this is just phrased so strangely. Like, I don't even know. Why engage? Wait, is that really him? I think so. So if you don't know who Spirit Jr. is, if I recall, Spirit Jr. was a fan, and he ended up going to a panel at Marky at a convention a few months ago, and he said something like, he brought something up about the litigation and about the allegations and that sort of thing, and then he was kicked out of the convention promptly after that, kicked out of the panel, kicked out of the convention. So I guess she's making a reference to Spirit Jr. and implying that the person, whoever that was that DM'd her, is Spirit Jr. Whatever, you get it. So we don't need to keep looking into this. It's just a few examples. But why even engage? Especially after Marky has, claimed her victory and has taken the trash out. So references to some tweets. Why even feel the need to engage there? That's why I go back to the point where it's like, are they just full of hot air? Do they just have some ego, but they're really fragile? Because if she really thought she won, like, why would you use your time to even engage with these people? Just use Twitter for your fans, updating them on your conventions. And this is just my humble opinion. Nobody has to listen to me, But this is what I would do. And this is pretty much what I do use Twitter for, but I'm not a VA, so it's a way different situation. I'm not a VA. I'm not a limited purpose public figure. I'm not someone like that, right? I'm not a prestigious person like Marky, super prestigious VA. when you have that sort of thing, I would think maybe you want to look more respectable in the eyes of the community. And, you know, that would be good for your goodwill. Doing this sort of thing just looks really bad. And it's just causing more problems, especially when your friend Monica says that you want to, well, not you. Monica says in her words that she wants to heal the community or something like that. I am paraphrasing that to be fair, but she has mentioned a want to heal the community at some point. And to be fair, Monica's not Jamie, but you think that if Monica's sincere about that, she may have had a chat with Jamie about healing the community and maybe not engaging people like this on social media. And you could just use it to update your fans on your conventions, maybe talk with your fans and don't engage the trolls. That's an idea. Or if you feel upset about it, you know, you can literally get up and walk away or just close out Twitter, whatever it is you want to do. So I just don't understand, man, what's going on with these VAs. I don't understand what's going on with this industry. It's so confusing to me. And yeah, this is a rambly video, and that's the point of it. Let me get another sip of coffee, man. I never would have imagined the anime industry being like this. I really wouldn't. Like all these years I was going to conventions, I just thought it was like a very simple thing. The VAs like the fans like the VAs do work. You know, it's good business to treat everyone nicely and not to have drama and all this sort of thing. Turns out a lot of people love drama. A lot of them love, you know, throwing each other to the wolves, gossip circles, in certain, it's not deposition, it's certain, what's the word I'm looking for, man? I'm forgetting the word now. Affidavit, there we go. Certain affidavit, I think it was Huber's, if I recall. It was calling Funimation like a den of wolves, Orwellian nightmare, a Kefka nightmare, an Orwellian slave factory. I think these are terms, again, I might be paraphrasing this. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. This is my rambly take on things that have happened, and I'm paraphrasing things here a bit. But I do think that's fairly accurate to what was in the affidavit. So you even have Huber making those claims that's what Funimation's like. And you pretty much see it's like that. And they kick Vic out for stuff, but then you find out how Sabat has made jokes with these other VAs that recently got hired. Not recently now, but at the time. And they said there was like some time when he was doing some sort of adult movie parody with a new VA and she felt uncomfortable with it. But Sabat's fine, right? He's still in there. So get out whoever's on the clique and then kiss up to whoever is. That's what it feels like. Anyways, I mentioned this being a rambly video, but at this point I'm probably getting a little bit too rambly. I guess I'll start wrapping this one up. Some shout outs to the kind people who promoted my last two videos. That's going to be Istra, the Lancaster Kid, Bruno, Amethyst, Codenex, Anime Night, Rookie Joestar, Jiza, Smack, Nathaniel, E, Mashed Up Potatoes. And we also got Dark Ravenwood, Rookie Joestar, Codenex, Mike Walters, and Crispy Noken. Thank you guys very much. And I'll end it off on this. I've mentioned the website thing coming up a few times in the last few days. I'm a little delayed on that because YouTube's been doing crazy stuff. I'm not going to go into the YouTube stuff at the end of this video. You've probably heard other creators talking about that. And I just want you to enjoy this video for what it was, a rambly thing about VAs and Funimation. But that's why the website's delayed. So with that said, wrapping this video up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.